Hello everyone, welcome to part 2 of this replay between me and Lark. This is one of the games that I chose because I just thought it was a really interesting game going on back and forth between me and Lark. Wanted to talk about that at the early portion of last game, but didn't have enough time. Now moving out, I have 2 medevacs and a Viking moving in, dropping in some Hellions and being able to drop in some Marauders as well. Gonna go ahead and drop them into here and take down this siege tank fairly easily. One Viking there trying to protect this whole entire escort group as these Marines now coming in as well. So Marines and Marauders will be able to soak up a lot of damage here. However, there is a point defense drone. So that defense drone was able to soak up a lot of the shots from the Marauders. But now these Marauders are just being able to move out fairly easily army-wise. He has a siege tank and that's it. And really these Marines and these Marauders just dealing a lot of damage. However, a Banshee now coming in. So Lark lucky now with an early Banshee, and now all of my Marines are gone. So siege tanks and now taken out as well. I want to really take down as many of these SCVs as I can. Lark losing a lot of these SCVs. SCV is now down to 23 harvester count versus my 30, but that Banshee, that final Banshee, should be able to finish this off without any real issue there. However, one Marauder still able to continue to fight, somehow finally getting taken down there. So income-wise, 31 against 21. You can see Lark down to 500 minerals per 60 units of time. Back over here, more Vikings being trained up, and now I need to take my natural expansion as well, as my main base will be finished or will be mined out fairly soon. Already setting up some missile turrets. However, one Banshee from Lark now coming in will be able to spot my missile turret being placed down, trying to get some early defense. Not going to work out for me, so missile turret going to get taken down here. I don't think I'll be able to cancel it in time. No, not able to cancel it in time. But that Banshee does not see the rest of my base here. Lucky for me, as I'm going to go ahead and lay down this one orbital command. So you can see that the Banshee can in fact see this missile turret, and now Vikings coming over to try to shoo away that last Banshee. And that Banshee now coming in and right outside of the sight range, and there it goes, down it goes. That Banshee, I'm able to take on one additional SCV. Back over here, still having these Hellions, and they're acting as a little bit of a scout over here at this natural expansion. However, unbeknownst to me, Lark still being able to mine out of this expansion here, and really Lark able to start producing and start getting a much stronger economy than I was aware of. Now, well, sorry, very fast-paced game. One of my more fast-paced games. Hopefully you guys are learning a lot. I wanted to do this more as a tutorial, but this game has just been so fast, so crazy. Lot of Vikings in the air. Taking a look at the army tab, Lark sitting on 1150 army versus my 1050. However, he definitely has more of a gas army, and because of that, it means he has a higher tech. One Hellion sitting over here with Infernal Pre-Igniter, attempting to take down this tech lab. I really should have been scouting out with this Hellion. If this Hellion was scouting out, perhaps I would have been able to find this particular base rather earlier, and then that one Hellion could have taken down and just really shut down a lot of these SCVs, taking down a lot of that income. Back over here, already transferring a lot of SCVs over. You're going to see my income all of a sudden jump 41 harvesters as more and more buildings are being produced. Now an extra command center being laid down here, and an armory getting the level 1 weapons upgrade on those buildings. Now out come an army of Vikings, so 6 Vikings now moving on out. I want to be able to catch some of those units off guard, down those, and one of those, perhaps I wanted to take down that medevac earlier, but unable to do it before he was able to drop that SCV. Now more Vikings continuing this and just fight back and forth. Now I have 3 Vikings against his last one Viking there, going to do a scanner sweep, but I missed that Banshee on the way out. And just continue to fight around. Want to take down that last Raven. Also want to make sure that there is no expansion coming into play. So I don't see one there yet, but there will be one in just a moment. Should have moved over these Vikings over here, landed them, and perhaps done a little bit of more harassment. Also taking down that Raven. Gonna go ahead and land, try to once again halt the economy of Lark. Lark, however, getting a lot of mules over here, able to mine fairly quickly. And now all of these Vikings getting a couple quick kills here. Siege tanks coming over and able to pressure this harassment and pull it back once again. Back over here, there is one Banshee, but there are enough Vikings in the area to try to protect it, and down it goes, and within sight range of that missile turret. And yeah, and once again down it goes. So Vikings now coming back in army-wise. I'm sitting on a 1700 mineral army versus Lark's 1200. So he definitely, I'm definitely in a stronger army position. And now SCV is gonna move on over here to try to do some additional mining as well. Only 2 mineral patches here, and really I should have been trying to establish another base here, try to take down these gold minerals, and perhaps even set up some extra some siege tanks here to try to divide this whole entire map in half. Orbital command over here. Lark getting a stronger and stronger economy, getting up to 1440 now, as he's able to mine off of more and more mineral patches. Back over here, I am setting up an extra expansion in order to protect from any Banshee harassment, and now my Vikings are moving out, and SCVs for some reason were accidentally rallied over here, so these siege tanks were getting free kills in this whole entire game. So siege tanks now moving out, trying to figure out where exactly my opponent is going. And I still do not know anything about these two particular expansions, as I'm setting up another expansion over here at the 7 o'clock position. So really expanding out, trying to take as many bases as I can. Lark, however, sitting on a massive economy, running off of 3 bases. There's that scanner sweep. I realized that there is a really strong base, and now Lark able to start macroing up a very, very large army, very, very defensive posture here, sitting on Vikings, sitting on siege tanks. Those Vikings have the level 1 weapons upgrade, and the siege tanks also have the level 1 weapon upgrades as well. So now I'm going to be moving over. Medevac going to go ahead and drop down a siege tank over here on the high ground, and I'm going to try to just shut down this expansion here, because I do not know if there's any other expansions in the area. If these siege tanks can get more and more kills, perhaps I can even the economic advantage and prevent any sort of fighting here. Now Vikings coming in, and down it goes, but in comes a point defense drone. So that point defense drone giving me a lot of problem. I really want to be able to perhaps pull back those Vikings or try to get the Vikings out of that range. And now I'm going to go ahead and jump back up with my Vikings, and then that point defense drone just continuing to clear out all of my Lancer torpedoes. So just really having an issue there. Now that Banshee continuing to push, trying to take down that Banshee, but that Banshee protected by that point defense drone just enough in order for me to lose that siege tank there. So down it goes. However, there is no more Vikings in the air for Lark. Lark now in a little bit of trouble here if I'm able to continue to siege up on this high ground. Lark now taking a look at his harvester count down, once again evening out this whole entire fight. Lark 2-on-1 against these torpedoes. Down goes another Viking. Siege tanks now sieging up on that low ground, protecting his natural cliff. But still, Lark able to mine out of here with no real issue. I'm sitting on this very strong, decent-sized army here, trying to get an expansion set up here and here as well, trying to get an even stronger economy up and running. You can see there are too many SCVs mining out of this location. I believe it's, yeah, more than fully saturated, so I should have been transferring over. And now I did a scanner sweep, and I find this base, and my heart sinks a little bit as I'm wondering how Lark was able to keep up such a strong economy for so long. Siege tanks now moving over and going to be able to just destroy all of these SCVs over here. However, some of these SCVs already moving down to the bottom corner trying to hide. I wasn't able to keep track of where all of those SCVs went, and my Vikings now going to go ahead and join up on this fight to try to take down this orbital command here. Orbital command taking a couple quick shots as we now have an army of Vikings, Banshees, Thors, and siege tanks moving out to try to deal with this whole entire harassment here. This orbital command most likely will get taken down by the focus fire of 4 of these Vikings. Vikings now getting this orbital command down to about 400, 300 damage already. Very, very low. But siege tanks now sieging up, and I'm in a very, very bad defensive position here. That orbital command will burn to a crisp though. I'm going to go ahead and siege up, and as I realize that, all I can really do is just try to take out as many units as I can before his units are going to take me out. Banshees and just absolutely wreck siege tanks and marauders without air support. So Lark really lucking out there. Taking a look at the incomes, or at the armies, I'm down to 1,300 versus Lark's 3,150. However, the income wise, I'm at 1240 versus his 800 right now, as these siege tanks are now moving out. Siege tanks do in fact see this one expansion down here. And I did build an armory in order to try to get up a stronger economy, or a stronger army as well, starting to upgrade. Siege tanks now moving in, going to be able to just start shooting and taking down all of these buildings here. Lark with these 90mm cannons will be able to take these down very easily. Also, Thors coming in, taking down the Viking. The Thors have a very, very slow attack and don't deal extra damage towards the Viking, but still enough damage to take it down because Vikings can't attack the ground mode. Anyway, siege tanks now destroying the rest of these SCVs over here. Vikings also destroying, and Banshees destroying the rest here. One missile turret being left behind. Stay tuned for part 3 of this replay between me and Lark here on Lost Temple.